What's up, my people? Yet another year, 2022. Welcome to it. We haven't been shooting because some of us here have been on dry jam. So we had to wait until people could have drinks. And that's why you see even the Chinese spirit, the Chinese spirit, Chinese year. It was the year of the tiger. That's why we got like some seriously beautiful alcohol up in here. It's about to rain. Beautiful, beautiful day. Blessings from the skies. Welcome to the show, The Brick, the only show that builds basketball one brick at a time.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got an amazing packed up show. Before it rains, let me tell you what is going to be going down. Yeah, we got the Continental Cup. We're going to be talking about it. Apparently, it's a new thing. I haven't watched it. My man's here, Q, is going to tell you all about it. We got the NBA draft. There's lots have been happening. James Harden, it was a big, big story. And Ben Simmons, we'll be talking about that. And yeah, shall we continue? Because, hey, it's about to rain. And of course, I'm not rolling alone. Here's my guy, Q. QD4, you know how we roll.
You know what I have to do. There's just no way that we can open the show, even with the rain. You know what time it is?
Yeah.
It's lifestyle time. Young Spirit Classic, courtesy of our host. And, well, look at that.
Look at that as it breaks. As it talking about lifestyle, my man Juice on the other side, always on the Juice side.
Let me tell you, straight out of China with the fabrics, man. All day, all night. Sensei Juice Moguls inside. All of that. Brick worldwide. We here, baby.
And don't forget, we also got the new logo. New year, new logo. It's going to be amazing up in here. Man, it's a beautiful day. Q, let's do that thing that we do when we do open up a show. It's tradition. We got to do what we got to do, man, you know?
We got to, there we go.
And this is a Chinese one. I've never had Chinese vodka before.
I've never had Chinese vodka. So we're opening 2022 in style before we get into real content.
With the rain.
Making it rain on and off the court.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Building it one brick at a time.
Let's go.
Whooshy!
Whooshy.
Q, man, let's get into it, man. Continental Cup, what's going on?
Let's get into it. So Continental Cup it's a competition created by FIBA, right? It's existed for quite a while, but its iterations keep changing. And it's almost aligned with like a World Club Cup. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
What they've done is the winners from North America, so ideally they'd invited the NBA, but the NBA always declined, so they send the G League representative.
NBA's NBA, man.
The best team, so that's the Lakeland. North America, South America, the winners from Europe, and then the African representative. So this is the first time that an African representative has ever taken part in the Continental Cup, and also the first time that it's been hosted on African shores. It was hosted in Cairo. Zamalek, of course, by virtue of being the winners of the Basketball Africa League, got to participate in it. And it was straight up, the structure and format of the tournament is knockout from the word go. So, you know, you get into semifinals. As soon as the teams are ranked, your semifinals, third place playoff, finals, home. 2 games, 2 teams, 4 teams, and that's it. The winners, the eventual champions, Flamengo, beat out the team from Spain, and the Burgos is what they're called, right? Beat them out. And then Zamalek, unfortunately, did not pick up a win. Lakeland Magic of the United States and the G League picked up their first win in that Intercontinental Cup competition.
Wow. It's sad to know that, you know, even though we think BAL is big, it's just not good enough. I mean, like, we're not even picking up a win in any kind of continental, international, you know, setup.
I think it's not a bad thing at all. Remember that this is all in aid of us increasing the standard and measure of competition, and eventually you want to see the BAL as a portal for players to get into the NBA. So this is how it starts. You can't expect miracles. These are well-established clubs. Those leagues have been running for just as long as some of the African leagues, but arguably at a higher level. So this is why it is what it is.
Juice, tell me about what's happening in the NBA, man. I hear the beard has been traded. We were thinking on the show, we must trade you from the front office to the back office, but hey, that'll be something for another day. What's going on?
Let me tell you, first of all, thank you very much for actually retracting that trade and keeping me, because now we got all that goodness that's going on. I gotta take another sip of this.
Whooshy. It goes with your jacket.
Let me tell you, man. You know, so with all the trades that have happened in this leg of the trade, I think the biggest and most talked about is the James Harden and Ben Simmons trade, because firstly, Ben Simmons hasn't been active this season, and you know, partly by choice.
Mental health issues. I don't want to be facetious.
Health issues, and I was listening to his press conference last night where the Nets were finally introducing him, and he had some interesting things to say. And for one, I certainly do sympathize with the man, because I'm not one to literally talk about mental health issues, though I am a mental case now and then. But
absolutely agree. You're gonna not hear any argument from me.
But I'm certainly looking forward to seeing his level of contribution once he gets activated, and then what the Nets will, how the Nets will fare.
All right, sum it up for me. So
who won?
Beard goes to
Who won the trade?
Yeah, the Beard goes to the Sixers. Simmons goes to the Nets. Who benefits?
The Nets, the moment Kyrie plays all his games and KD is back from injury.
So the Nets are going to come out on top when it comes to like.
Certainly, because it literally just makes the Nets the most dangerous team on paper. Now they could easily have a starting lineup of 3 number 1 picks and 2 number 1 picks, which has never happened in NBA history. So that in itself on paper is just literally just puts them there.
Love it. Tell me about the BNL, man. There were some great things happening. Tigers, revealed as part of the BAL.
Yeah, so the Tigers and the owner, Rafael Edwards, he got a chance to travel to Dakar where they unveiled the conferences. So the Sahara Conference and the Nile Conference will be taking place, or the competition will be taking place, the first leg of it from the 5th until the 13th of March in Dakar, at Dakar Arena. That's going to be the Sahara Conference. And then the Nile Conference, obviously, is going to take place in Cairo, and that's the leg that the Cape Town Tigers will be involved in. So now we know which teams they're going to be up against. And looking at it on paper, real quick, without getting into the intrinsics and naming everything out, the Cape Town Tigers seem to be in the weaker of the two pools if you're looking at it strength for strength. And there's a very good chance that what they need to do is get into the top 4 so they can get into the quarterfinals. So that leg will happen first 2 weeks in April, and then the finals will happen 21st to 28th in Kigali, in Rwanda.
So tell me something I've always wanted to find out about BAL, right? So there's 6 teams now that will always be in the BAL, and all the other ones have to qualify. Do you think the Tigers are going to stay in the top 6, or how does that work?
I think it's going to be very interesting, because what has happened is this year was particularly challenging around COVID, right? So what happened was the Tigers got in by virtue of COVID and the 4th wave that happened, and the controversy that came from around there. The second thing that happened was the Nigerian team was forced to pull out because of Nigerian Basketball Federation issues and FIBA laws. That then allowed AS Saleh of Morocco, who were initially not participating, who were supposed to be here, brought them back in. But this is a challenge that they'll have to overcome, and I think the qualifying process is going to have to be refined as we continue to go into the BAL. But I don't know whether the Tigers, I don't see South Africa holding a host city role at any point soon just yet.
All right. Well, the good thing is, the Tigers are taking this thing seriously. I believe there's some amazing news that are happening within the Tigers. You want to tell us about that?
Well, I mean, we're going to get into it, because this is what comes later on in the show, right? Because we have an interview with the assistant coach that they've signed, Al Harrington, 16-year NBA vet, taking on his first coaching role. He's played different kinds of roles. He's known as an entrepreneur, he's known as a journeyman and a fighter on the court, but now he's trying to apply some of that knowledge in the coaching role. So we have a chat with him. I have a chat with him a little later on.
Matter of fact, you know what? Let's not even waste time. Let's just get straight into it. Let's check it out. This is the chat that Q had with Al Harrington, the ex-NBA player who's now about to become the Tigers coach. Let's go to it. Well, assistant coach, right? Gotta get that right.
That's right.
Let's go.
Quinton Denison here with Al Harrington, the new assistant coach for the Cape Town Tigers, 16-year veteran in the NBA, accomplished businessman and making strides in the cannabis field. But the reason we have you on the show, The Break, is because you are now picking up the assistant coaching role at our franchise, or the South African franchise, the Cape Town Tigers. So let's just ask Al, from a perspective of how you came to be the assistant coach, and how did this even transpire?
Well, my good friend Rafael Edwards, who's one of the part owners in the company, in the organization, has been, talking to me about this for a couple years now, actually. And as entrepreneurs, you know how it is one thing from, you know, talking about something from an idea to actually accomplishing something and actually getting it done is obviously a huge feat. And, you know, obviously once you see that, you start to realize that the opportunity or the business plan that he came up with was actually real, right? So, you know, one, it just came from a place of just really just congratulating him on getting it done, because I know it was not easy. And the fact that they won a bunch of tournaments already that actually, you know, propelled them to actually be one of the teams in the BAL. And, you know, we started just, you know, just having hoop talk like we always talk. And, you know, a lot of times he'll reach out to me asking about certain players that may have played in the league before. You know, what kind of guy were they? You know, what's my opinion on them as a player? Sometimes even could I actually help him reach out to him, you know, to potentially gauge interest in playing in a team. So the more and more I started talking to him, you know, he just one day just said to me, like, yo, why don't you coach? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you come out here? He's like, you know, it's not a long commitment. You know, it's, you know, 4 to 6 weeks out of your year. And, you know, maybe you could come out and help us. And, you know, I looked at my schedule and, you know, definitely was very difficult trying to figure it in. But, you know, I told him, yeah, you know, I think I could help, you know. And, you know, for me, I always loved the game of basketball, obviously. You know, played it since I was a youth. You know, throughout my career, I always say that, you know, for me, it wasn't a job. You know what I mean? It was the, you know, best time of my life. So I just think that, you know, ex-players, you know, being able to be in a position where you can like give back to other, you know, young athletes coming up. And, you know, our goal is obviously to bring like top talent, you know, to the Cape Town Tigers, and, you know, talent that we, you know, hopefully we'll lose to the NBA. Right. Because, you know, we'll be able to use that platform to, you know, give these guys an opportunity for their talent to be shown at the highest level. And you never know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they might propel them to actually playing in the NBA, and just really just getting into Africa and just realizing all the talent that has been coming into the NBA. And you look at, you know, right now, one of, you know, African-born players might be, you know, the best player in the NBA this year. Well, you know what I'm saying? A guy like Joel Embiid. So it's just really an amazing opportunity how I see it. And, you know, I would just love to be able to be a part of, you know, helping another player, you know, reach their ultimate goals.
Do you think that the fact that you don't really have a coaching record, this might be a new challenge, do you think it's going to be more on the X's and O's side, or are you looking at player development or a hybrid thereof?
I think for me, it'll be a little bit of everything, right? I think that, you know, with 16 years experience, I think that I'm pretty much an expert in all of it, right? From player development to, you know, understanding defense and the way offense should be played, you know, all these different things. So, you know, I just want to be, you know, as they say, like when I'm in my career, right, you know, I wanted to be somewhat of a glue guy, right? So whatever, you know, issues or situations that I can help in, you know, I want to kind of be Johnny on the spot.
How much do you know about the actual Basketball Africa League, and is the excitement from your end just because this is obviously a new challenge, a new chapter, and have you had a look at the talent levels and maybe some of the competition, since this is a role that you're going to be taking up?
Yeah, I've definitely got a chance to look at it. And, you know, I think that, you know, just like any league that's when it's first starting, you know, you would have to be very honest and say, like, the talent has to continue to get better, right? You know, for the ultimate where we're all trying to go. But I think that part of that process is, you know, these organizations, you know, the coaches, the owners of the teams, like, we're going to have to, you know, present a package to make really good players want to come and be part of the BAL, right? And, you know, most people, you know, run towards competition, not away from it, right? Sure. So we understand that, you know, we're going to have to continue to increase the talent pool there. And, you know, having more former NBA players involved, you know what I'm saying? I know guys like Joakim Noah's involved, you know, Luol Deng, Grant Hill. You know, having names like that a part of this league, I think, in spreading the gospel, I think will start to attract, you know, some of the top talent. So I think that the BAL is obviously just in its beginning stages, but, you know, where it's going to be at the end, you know, we hope that, you know, it'll, you know, be one of the top 3 leagues in the world. You know, I think is the opportunity, you know, with the BAL.
Now, I see you're wearing your Viola gear, and shout out. I mean, there's a whole new industry there. do you think there'll also be opportunity for you to educate consumers around some of the work that you're doing and the industry that you're in? Because that's also a growing industry. And even in South Africa, there is definitely opportunity there. And it's something that is being opened up, especially along the hemp side of things. I'm not so sure that the consumption side of things, again, the legislation will open up, but is that something that you'll also look at, being the entrepreneur that you are?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, for the last 2 years, I've been presented with a lot of different opportunities to, come to the continent, with my brand Viola. But I just haven't felt like, it's the right time yet. But I think that being over there and probably being able to get a chance to rub elbows with some of these people and, seeing them now 2 years down the road, I think there may be some, form of an opportunity there. So I'm definitely excited to have some of those conversations. But yes, I think that, I'm always talking about the benefits of cannabis, right? And especially for athletes, right? When we talk about recovery and we talk about all the things that we deal with and, the only thing that we have available to us is, either prescription pharmaceutical pills or alcohol, right? Or other drugs, right? And I think that, when we see all the good that cannabis has been able to do for a lot of people, athletes, more athletes, ex-athletes, and even some current athletes telling their stories in regards to why they use cannabis, I think it's definitely starting to humanize the plant. And, I think a place like Africa will obviously come along in its time. And we're just going to have to kind of be patient and wait. But I think that if I can, find a way to, talk to some people that are decision makers about it, I would definitely take that opportunity just to give them my experience and just let them know, like, all the benefits of this plant and that they should really start to consider making a change, towards some of the, laws around it.
Well, I'm sure that that's going to be a lot of fun as well. And I actually look forward to seeing how your mind will unpack or maybe open up a couple more doors because, I really like the empowerment model that your website and that the company advocates. And I think it's very important because former athletes have resources, have got networks, and can really change narratives around poverty and can really change situations because, it's an entrepreneurial mindset, but it can also do a really great job in terms of empowering individuals and helping them change circumstance. So I hope that also does work out.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely.
So here's I think the last possible question. I'm not going to take too much more of your time. It's a nice, quick interview. What would you consider a win for you and the Tigers this year? And what sort of expectations do you have going into the actual tournament?
I want to win the whole thing. I'm not coming all the way from California to lose or come in second place. So our expectations is to win. I think that so far the organization in regards to what players they brought in, I think they brought in championship caliber players. And, that's our expectation, where we've all made a lot of, especially up until this point, I know everybody in the organization have made a lot of sacrifices and committed to winning. And that's the only thing that we expect, is to win a championship.
I think that's a great note to end the interview on. Al, thank you very much for giving us your time and giving us your insights. I'm going to wish you all the best in your new chapter with the Cape Town Tigers. And we look forward to tracking the journey. And we're going to be there courtside, just catching all of it.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Wow, what an interview. This is beautiful just to know that ex-NBA players are now coming to coach here in South Africa. The amount of experience that they bring in Q. If somebody missed that interview, what would you say was the gist of the entire chat?
Well, I think for me, it's I like you can see that he's a veteran. First of all, it's his demeanor. He's well experienced when it comes to handling media, so he knows which notes to hit. Yeah. I didn't try and trick him up or try and do anything funny in terms of my line of questioning. I just wanted to get a feel for what he would be like. And I think he's going to bring a calming influence into that Tigers dressing room. There's a lot of strong personalities that exist in the Tigers.
Strong
and they need a leader that they can respect. Whether he's in an assistant coaching role or whatever role they choose for him, I think it's going to be good for them because automatically, by the years that he spent in the NBA, doesn't matter if his player development or X's and O's, they're automatically going to want to listen to him because he has more insight than they do, and there's nothing else that can't be challenged in the coaching room or off the court.
Do you believe he's going to be a good assistant coach, or it's just really the guy that's just going to bring the team together?
He's definitely a piece that they need, and right. I think we'll see his influence.
All right. No, I love it. Look, at the end of the day, what's happening with Ben Uzo, man? You know, just something. You heard anything about Ben Uzo coming back?
All I'm going to say is, and I'm going to say this right now, until I actually get on a plane and I see the rosters, every single team's roster is a mystery. Okay. Until they finalize those things, I can tell you we'll see some changes. I know that it will not be the same team.
Thank you so much, man. But hey, we're done with the basketball stuff, but the lifestyle, as you can see, we got the Chinese vodka up in there. Throwing it right back to my man's Juice Sensei, drinking the amazing Chinese vodka. Tell us what's going on in the world of Puma and Melo in terms of collaboration shoe-wise.
So here's an interesting part for me with that I'd like to pick this up from. You know, a few years ago, you know, their father, LaVar Ball, was making headlines, you know, bragging about how all of his sons are going to make it into the NBA.
Right.
And then it was rather controversial, but you cannot overlook the genius of the guy, right? And then he came up with a brand, Triple B, big baller brand. And at the time, it became one of the most expensive shoes.
$400 US.
You know what I mean? And again, people are like, what are you doing? You know, and then fast forward to 2022. He's got 3 sons in the NBA. 2 of them are more known than the other, but they're doing so well. He's got Lonzo, he plays for the Chicago Bulls.
That's right.
He's rocking the Nike.
And Chicago's doing well.
Chicago's doing well. And here comes LaMelo, you know, been in the headlines since 17 years old. He had a little stint in Europe before coming into the NBA. He was like, nope.
Australia's NBL.
I'm not going to college. I'm going out of country to go play professional elsewhere.
Right.
Now he's back in the NBA. He's been doing his thing. Rookie of the year last year. And bang, signature shoe is out. The Melo one. So
tell me about Puma, man. Tell me about Puma. Puma hasn't been a big player in basketball.
I mean,
at least from what I know.
Puma have been around, and notably, you've got a guy like Vince Carter who once played in the Pumas.
Okay.
You know, so you've had a couple of guys that have played in the Pumas before, but then they've never really broken through. So I think right now, this could easily be the best thing that has happened to Puma footwear as far as basketball is concerned.
Yeah.
Look, it's not a bad shoe.
No, look,
I haven't tested it. So you played with it.
A quick review. Let's use quick 3 scale, right? So they were mad, right? Visually striking. So looks 10 out of 10 because you zoom in and if you can, but there's fire embroidery here that matches his tattoos. The colorway is unique and I like this colorway. And underneath it, you know, I'm not sure which foot is on. Let's do both of them because I just can't. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it's a little bit tricky, but everywhere you go, people are forced to notice it, right? Comfort.
Comfort. It's a lifestyle.
I'm going to give a solid 7 to 8. It's gotten better as I've worn it. Okay. I think I'm going to call that the new shoe phenomenon. Absolutely. You know, you need to wear some shoes in. This one you certainly need to break in. I would wear this as lifestyle. I'm not going to necessarily put it on the court. That's just because it's so visually striking. Like, you know, I want to stand out, but not necessarily always for the shoes. The game must match the shoes, and you know I'm a fundamentals guy, so...
But your game should match the shoe if the shoe is good, because your game is a strong 8.
A strong 8. I like that. I'm going to work with that. Where do we rank Juice?
Let me tell you about my 12. and actually, to your point, Hugh, you know, you talk about, you know, the visuals. You know, aesthetically, this is just so flamboyant because it matches his game.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you've watched LaMelo play, you'd know his game is loud enough. And a shoe like this definitely plays that. You know, it complements that and it really personifies
all make sure they can see.
Love it. You know, so with the younger generation, now they've got their own Melo to look at because with us, most of us, we're still thinking Carmelo Anthony when you talk about Melo. So now there's that transition as well.
The new
That
Melo.
there's a new Melo in town.
Yeah,
And I
change of the
mean,
guard.
Just like there's a new Nas, I'm joking. Let's not go. That's a whole nother conversation for another.
Let me tell you something.
I'm about to take off this mic.
Let me tell you something, man. If you're out there looking for shoes, Melo is the name to look out for. You saw the shoe, probably gonna come in other flamboyant, as they say, colors. But right now, I want Juice to tell me a little something. Juice, you talked about Shaq buying out a big brand. Tell me about that, man.
So, firstly, Shaquille O'Neal has been big as far as business is concerned. You know, ever since his retirement, he's looked at multiple businesses that he's gone into. You know, he's a big entrepreneur. And now he's bringing his own sneaker brand to South Africa. Wow. Already it's hit some few outlets. And
He's been sponsored by Reebok before.
100%. And his relationship with Reebok has grown over the years, where he's actually looked to acquiring the brand. You know, he had a few beautiful shoes back in the day, like the Shaq
Gnosis, yeah.
You know, so
I've had one of those.
so now, a few years later, he's not just looking at maintaining that relationship on a sponsorship level, but now he's moving up ownership, you know.
So what do you mean ownership? He bought the entire business.
So he's making anything that is popular at the time. Shaq will do a TikTok video of it.
Hey,
you know,
it's part of marketing, man.
It's so beautiful that at one point he's made a TikTok video of something more popular even here at home.
Right.
You know. And then also crossing into, keeping it into the sneaker conversation as well.
Right.
You know, the Jordan brands themselves have been looking, you know, going into different collaborations with different brands. And one of the notable collaborations that they've recently gone into is with Christian Dior. You know, you've got the gentleman that one of the most popular designers that just recently passed away. Alvin, was this his name? Alvin Albor, I believe. He just recently passed away, and now there's a shoe that is coming out in his honor. You know, Jordan and Christian Dior.
Is it it's South Africa?
So what are we looking at in terms of price?
That's what I was about to say. South Africa, the target market.
That doesn't sound like lifestyle. That sounds like
a VIP.
that sounds like Bugatti. You know, it's nice to look at, but I ain't never gonna.
One of the earlier models of the collaboration that came out was the Air Jordan 1 and Christian Dior, which was made popular by Black Coffee here in South Africa. And the price tag on that was sitting at something about 120K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's enough. That's where we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna stop right there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been amazing having you guys around. Always good to have my man Juice, my man Q. It's Cabby right here. You can see things are different. Check out the logo. Logo is fresh. You got people in the background. We're shooting out here in the beautiful, amazing. It's not sunny. It was actually a bit rainy, but it don't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great to have you around. Check us out in the next episode. It's a fresh, new, The Brick, the only show that builds basketball one brick at a time. We'll see you next time. From me and my crew and all about it, we're saying peace. See you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Take